Hello, my name is Nhett. That's Nhettt. I am a freshman at NYU studying film and television, and I made it through my first semester of college. This isn't my usual setup. I'm home right now, not on campus, but I will be using this video to reflect on the many lessons I learned this past fall to help any of you who are interested in NYU or college life in general. I will be discussing scheduling classes, film, living on campus, making friends, campus resources, and much more. So feel free to skip around different chapters. Let's get into it. Okay, first up is scheduling. I thought I would be a morning person in college. In high school, I definitely considered myself a morning person. Like, even on weekends, I would get up early, play some Stardew Valley, and then log in studying, homework, and got a lot done. And in high school, I had to wake up around 5:30 a.m. every day for school. So I thought, oh, I can do the same in college. I'll be fine. I'll still be like a morning person and go to bed early and stuff like that. Not the case. Last semester, my Monday started at 11, and then all the other days, Tuesday through Friday, my days started at 9:30. I thought that would be perfectly fine. I could wake up for like 8 or 8:30. I was like so excited, guys. I can't even get up for 8:30 anymore. Like I used to get up for 5:30. I I don't know what happened. Just can't get out of bed. So the lesson here is just because you're a morning person in high school doesn't mean you're gonna be a morning person in college. Just because you're a night person in high school doesn't mean you're gonna be a night person in college. So take that into consideration when you're scheduling your classes in college. You might be. You might end up being a morning person again or a night person again, and that's okay. But it's hard to get out of bed in college. It really is. So I was fortunate enough to get some later classes this upcoming semester. And for my film majors, I'd say there's a pretty good amount of flexibility with the freshman schedule for your audio semester. As I've possibly explained before, film majors for their freshman year get split up between their audio semester and your visual semester, depending on what your last name is. Just for freshman year. And I was in my audio semester, so I would say there was a pretty good amount of flexibility with your schedule in your audio semester. Though there were 3 classes you're required to take, 3 film classes you're required to take, 1 writing class you're required to take, and then your gen ed class. There's a lot of flexibility when it came to the times that you could take them, in my opinion. That is not the case with the visual semester. There were some classes where it is on one day, one time is offered. So I guess my advice would be for any major really to leave some time between classes. Make sure to look at your class locations if you have 2 back-to-back classes. If you want to get a job, make sure you leave some time for that. A lot of clubs hold their events between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m., sometime between those 2 times. So take that into consideration too if there are any specific clubs you want to join, etc., etc. Next, let's talk a little bit more about my film classes. So my favorite classes last semester were definitely storytelling strategies and sound image, especially storytelling strategies because I want to write for TV. That's why I'm at film school. So storytelling strategies, I had an amazing teacher. I really enjoyed the work too. It was time consuming, especially sound image. Oh my gosh, sound images work was time consuming for real, but we got through it and they were really great classes, really valuable classes. I definitely didn't go into NYU wanting to be like a sound designer or a Foley artist or anything like that, but I'm actually really glad they force us to take that class because it's so valuable. I think video editing is a really valuable skill to have, and knowing how to deal with sound and volume and things like that, sound effects are it's just such a valuable skill to have in my opinion, especially for future projects. So great classes for sure. Next semester I really look forward to frame and sequence. For your visual semester you get to choose between frame and sequence, intro to animation, and first person narrative. I chose frame and sequence. I'm really looking forward to that. The language of film sounds pretty interesting as well. Another class I'm taking next semester. Film is a very project heavy major, which I knew for sure. walking into the major that it was going to be more project heavy and not really exams and stuff like that. But it really is like a lot of projects. Some are going to be small, some are easy, some are not so easy, some are with groups, some are not. Most of them are individual. The vast majority of them are individual, actually, but we all get a chance to show our projects and get feedback. It's really nice, I think. I feel like every single project had meaning and purpose and value, and I enjoyed them all in different ways. That was cool. Some quick lessons I learned about living on campus. There are specific days and times to do laundry. Don't do them on weekends. Don't do them Monday mornings. Don't do them Friday nights. Do them on really random times on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. I got pretty lucky. I think Thursday afternoons have been working pretty well for me. Thursday evenings, I'd say. I got lucky enough to get a pretty big room. I think in college, I started to really prioritize keeping my room clean more often than I do at home. Especially when I am leaving the dorm. Like when I'm leaving a dorm to come visit home, I really, really like to come back to a clean dorm. So I suggest doing that anytime you're going home, even if it's just for a little bit. Take out your garbage, clean out your fridge, clean it under your bed, make up your bed, so you can just come back to a fresh, clean space. Speaking of your bed, make good use of the space underneath your bed. Like seriously, like it's a good amount of space. I'm probably gonna do a big video on like college essentials in like August or September, but I can give you a couple of quick things if anyone's going to college in the spring this upcoming semester. Don't bring too many clothes. Like seriously, I know too many is like vague, but there's so many thrift stores around campus. I know Manhattan is expensive, but there are some really affordable thrift stores if you know where to look. So don't bring all too many clothes. Don't bring anything that you're really gonna sit there and question, like, am I gonna wear this to class, or will I wear this to a club event, a casual club event? 'Cause most events are pretty casual, so ask yourself those things before you bring any clothes. Bring storage bins, anything that you can hold stuff in that can go underneath your bed. If you're planning on bringing a lot of stuff, you're much better off bringing an iPad or a laptop instead of buying a whole bunch of notebooks. I use maybe like one tiny notebook this whole semester, and I probably used like in total like 15 pages of it. Like I really do prefer taking notes on my laptop. There's a couple of quick tips. I'm gonna go way more into that for next school year. Socializing at NYU. Welcome week was so much fun. I really like welcome week. I'm the type of person that enjoys the little things. I don't like complaining about events because I had to work at a lot of events in high school. I had to help organize a lot of them, so I feel like it annoys me a lot when people are ungrateful for the events that they have at their schools. So I made sure to take advantage of like every welcome week event that I could go to. I believe they do also have like a bit of a smaller sized welcome week for people transferring to NYU or coming to NYU this spring. Take advantage of those. Like I genuinely met like some of my closest friends at welcome week events. They have so many for different interests, different cultural backgrounds, so many different groups that you can join or events that you can go to and make friends. I have joined 2 clubs, I think. One I definitely joined, but another one I don't know if I'm an official member because I've barely gone to their events, but I kind of feel like I'm a member. So one could say I'm a member. But yeah, join some clubs. Look some clubs up before you go to a school to help you just get a feel of what the school community has to offer, because they provide so many great opportunities to make friends and find people with similar interests as you. And you can leave whenever you want. You don't have to go to every single meeting that they have. Some only meet every other week, some meet once a month. Yeah, like they're pretty chill, just nice ways to get to meet people in your major, people in your grade, even people who are not in your grade, of course. It's always valuable to have some upperclassmen friends to get resources from and advice. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I have making friends in class on my notes like list of things to talk about, but I feel like that's something I'm still working on a lot. Like, when I say a lot of my friends were made at events, I genuinely mean like my closest friends were made at like welcome week events. I have not done the greatest job. I feel like I'm making friends in class, but I'm working at it. I'm working on it. If I had to give like one piece of advice about making friends in class, I think would be speak during the first 10 minutes of class. In a lot of my classes, at least my film classes, the very, very first questions that were asked are like, how was your week? Did you get good sleep last night? How are you doing? What do you have for breakfast? Have you seen any good movies recently? Any good news? Anything special happened this past week? Like I feel like the first like few minutes of class always start with the hey, how are you? With the class members and the teacher and just catching each other up on the past week. I feel like that time is like a great time to get to know one another some more. And then, of course, participating in class discussions, getting people's Instagrams and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm still working on that myself, all of those things. There are a lot of great resources on campus and a lot of great places to study. I personally love Kimmel, the Kimmel Center of Student Life. I genuinely love it there. I know so many people who don't like Bope's library because they think it's too like overwhelming or just distracting. I personally really like Bope's. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, you have to go to the upper floors. You have to go to the higher floors to get some like good quiet spaces." And they're right. 7th, 8th, and ninth floors are my personal favorite. They're quiet. There are great books. There's bathrooms and bottle stations. I think it's really nice. Of course, there's the individual study rooms. You guys saw me in the last video. Yeah, I like both. A lot of freshman dorms have lounges that are nice places to study in. The Tisch School of Arts building has nice places to study in. They're everywhere. You just gotta know where to look. Finding a job on campus. It was a mix of luck and like genuine like hard work, I gotta say. Pat myself on the back a little bit. There was a career fair in the summer, a virtual career fair. Went, and that's where I met my current employer. You really gotta take advantage of those online resources because they'll provide you with a lot of opportunities. You have to chase them though. You have to go get them yourself. I managed to find a job on campus that worked in my schedule and it's really chill. It's really nice. My employer is super cool. My coworkers are really nice. So yeah, take advantage of online resources, specifically Handshake. That's where I found the career fair.